time, I wanted to kind of follow up on something Jess said with reporting invasive species. So, see something, say something. And this applies to mile a minute weed that Jess was just talking about. It applies to other invasives that are out there. Whether we're talking about Asian longhorn beetle that is present in southern Ohio and we don't want it in Kentucky, spotted lanternfly, another insect that is nearby, just on our border in southern Indiana, and we would like to not get here, or many other invasive plants. If you see something, if you can report that appropriately, it increases the chances that we can do something about it and stop it. So there are lots of different ways to do this. You can certainly report something to your county agent or your Kentucky Division of Forestry forester, or any number of the great resources that have come up today. But I also want to highlight some useful technology to help you both identify invasive species and report them if you see them. And some of these have already come up, and you've already seen a lot of maps that are produced by Edmaps. And so I just want to mention two in particular and put them on your radar if they're not already. Not only are these useful for reporting new invasives that we might be able to stop and eradicate completely, but for us to know where are the other species that we might know that they're present in the state, but not, the extent of that. So the first is Inaturalist, and this has come up a few times. If you don't already use Inaturalist, I bet most people have it on their phone right now because it's a really useful app for identification, for logging what you've been seeing. But it can also be nice for invasive plants in a couple different ways. First, you can use it to help you identify things. So for example, if you take a picture of something, this is a familiar face, unfortunately, to many of us, a winter creeper. You can take a picture of it and get some ideas about what it is. It has an automatic identification function there. And sure enough, that first one there is winter creeper, but it has other potential species as well. And you can take pictures of all sorts of things and get identifications. The other nice thing, though, is that you can see what other people are observing near you if you go to the website. And if that's, just kind of trying to get to know your area better, you can see kudzus topping the list here. But so many people use iNaturalist that there are millions of observations. So no matter where you are, it's probable that somebody has been observing things there, and it's just kind of a nice tool from that perspective. But if you're trying to track particular invasives, it can be really useful because you might be looking for, let's say, mile a minute. We just heard about this. So here's kind of the map of where mile a minute weed is on iNaturalist. And sure enough, there's that one report in Kentucky. And I think when this happened, I not only got an email from Tara Littlefield and Office of Kentucky Nature Preserves, I got an email from Chris Evans, and you can see the conversation in here about this new species. Oh, it's present, what's going on with that? So, due to some good work and coordination following up with that landowner who posted about it on iNaturalist and also on the Kentucky Native Plant Facebook group. I've seen this plant. What is it? We all got together, myself and folks from Office of Kentucky Nature Preserves. This is Quintari here, Joyce Bender, and visited this landowner, Teresa, and her husband, Bob. We got to see the scale of this infestation. We pulled it all up. We tried to be as careful as we could with those seeds. And here you can see my technician, Lee Grace, with a whole bunch of bags of collected plants, and even the dogs got into the action. This is not something we would do for every invasive plant, but because this is so new in the state and it's an outlier, it was very contained, and we wanted to help to keep it that way, to eradicate that small population before it spreads out of control. And so, be like Teresa and Bob, and if you see something, say something. So that's iNaturalist, and it's the one that most people use. But I'm going to really encourage this audience and the people joining today to check out Edmaps if you haven't already. It is a fantastic resource on a number of different levels when it comes to invasive species. And so if you've been seeing maps of where these species are, those are probably coming from Edmaps. These are different reportings of invasive species largely by professionals, and they've been vetted on this map, and you can download that and share that with others. You can also download a map that gives you a future range, which is a little scary if we look at some of these species like mile a minute, where it could be in the future, where is suitable habitat, but really useful from an educational perspective. And if you go to their website, edmaps.org, you can find all sorts of different tools about how to create an observation, how to submit a new sample. And I encourage you, if you're doing that, it's going to ask you for species and location. You can set it either as a point or a polygon. You can mark that you've treated it or tried to eradicate it. That's great too. I encourage you, if you're doing that, take really high quality photos so that those can be confirmed as that species as you're doing it. So you can do that through the website. And they even have tools to teach you if you're sharing that with others. But I really recommend just using the app that they have, Edmaps Pro. And so you can see here, I just picked my location. I've got prompts to select the species, can enter it that way really easily. And once I've done that, I can enter photos. I can kind of move around on the map and say where I saw it. And then I can enter more information on, how long did I spend looking for it? Was it treated or not? And any other notes that I want to share. So I just really encourage everyone to check out Edmaps and use that if you haven't already. It's a fantastic tool, both for you to learn about what invasives are present in your area, but also to share that information with others. So I'm going to wrap up this portion of our conference, and thanks so much to all of our presenters today. A big round of virtual applause for all of you. I really enjoyed your presentations and the insight that you're sharing with us, your expertise. So many thanks.